I promise
What are you
bro.
gonna
You fucking with the wrong one, bro.
I'm not fucking with anyone but a clown. You're a clown. You're a 31-year-old clown. You're a clown. You're a bum.
Jack Doherty, the rise and total collapse of a controversial streamer. It's no exaggeration to say that Jack Doherty has become one of the most despised figures on the internet. And the shocking part, he's the architect of his own downfall. Not long ago, Jack was showing off his McLaren, streaming wild IRL adventures and flaunting his lifestyle. Now, he's the definition of controversy, humiliated, exposed, and caught in one scandal after another. And the final blow came when his ex-girlfriend, McKinley Richardson, released one of the most disturbing exposés YouTube has ever seen. The beginning of the downfall. Jack's career didn't just slow down, it flatlined. This wasn't a temporary break or a minor dip. It was a full-blown collapse. He's now streaming on a platform called Party, basically the digital graveyard for faded creators. Even Johnny Somali is there, and that alone says enough about the site's reputation. But things truly spiraled when McKinley came forward with a 2-part, 5-hour interview, calling Jack, in her own words, an absolute nightmare of a human being. These weren't petty complaints or relationship drama. These were heavy accusations, physical abuse, manipulation, addiction, and financial control. Inside the relationship, according to McKinley, arguments with Jack often turned violent. She claimed that during fights he'd throw whatever was nearby, bottles, phones, random objects, and once hit her so hard she ended up with a black eye. Jack tried brushing it off as an accident. But how do you accidentally throw something at someone's face more than once? The internet wasn't convinced. Old clips resurfaced of Jack throwing things at other exes, live, on stream. And it didn't stop there. McKinley described terrifying moments where Jack allegedly threatened to crash his car at 150 miles, about 240 kilometers, an hour, saying things like, "I'll take us both out right now." It painted a chilling picture of a man completely out of control. Addiction and control. McKinley claimed Jack had a heavy addiction to prescription stimulants, and pressured her to take them too, to keep up with his relentless filming schedule. According to her, Jack said she'd be more successful if she used them. Eventually, she was taking pills every morning before breakfast just to keep filming. Jack didn't even like people stopping to eat. To him, food was a distraction from the grind. So she went days without proper meals, running purely on stimulants and exhaustion. That's not motivation. That's manipulation disguised as hustle culture. The golf cart incident. Remember that viral clip of Jack flipping a golf cart with McKinley beside him? According to her, it wasn't an accident. He did it intentionally. And after the crash, instead of checking if she was okay, the first thing he looked for was the camera. He wanted to make sure the moment was recorded. When McKinley insisted on going to the hospital, Jack refused, because he had plans to hang out on a yacht with Antonio Brown. So she took an Uber to the hospital by herself. And when Jack finally showed up later, he brought a camera to film it for content. That's not love. That's pure obsession with views. Everything is content. Jack lives by one rule. Everything is content. There's no boundary, no private moment. When McKinley was robbed at a car meet in Compton, someone literally approached her with a weapon. She was terrified. But Jack's first reaction wasn't concern. It was disappointment that he didn't capture it on stream. And whenever he says something awful, he hides behind his favorite line. Just kidding. It's his go-to excuse. Say something vile, laugh it off, and pretend it's a joke. There are even compilations of him doing it over and over again. The pregnancy revelation. Then came the most disturbing part of all. McKinley revealed she got pregnant, and instead of being nervous or supportive, Jack saw dollar signs. He literally said, "We're gonna make more money than ever with a family YouTube channel." He wasn't thinking like a father. He was thinking like a brand manager. Later, he even joked about cheating on her during pregnancy, saying no one else would want her anyway. That's not just toxic, that's cruel. Thankfully, that family channel never happened. Money, NDAs, and control. McKinley also exposed what she described as Jack's financial manipulation. According to her, every girl in his house had to sign an NDA, giving Jack a share of their earnings and forbidding them from ever talking about it publicly. Breaking the contract meant getting sued. So what looked like a content house was really a system built on silence and control. It wasn't business, it was exploitation. The internet turns on Jack. After that expose, Jack's downfall was unstoppable. He got kicked out of TwitchCon after sneaking in. He was mocked by other creators, from OnlyFans models to YouTubers like Canel Joseph, who called him out for shocking his dog and running fake crypto scams. Whenever fans confronted him about his meme coin, he'd lose it on stream, yelling, stuttering, and melting down while the chat flooded with L's. meaning viewers mocking his losses. Then came the public embarrassments, getting his chains stolen while his bodyguard stood frozen, racking up 6 tickets in one stop, and watching his fan base completely vanish. No one left to blame. At this point, Jack Doherty has no one to blame but himself. This isn't cancel culture. It's consequence. He built an empire on chaos, exploiting women, harassing strangers, and scamming fans, all under the excuse of content. Now the internet's done watching. His career isn't paused, it's finished. And after a 5-hour expose from his ex, there's no way back from this. So the question is this truly the end of Jack Doherty? Or will he somehow crawl his way back into the spotlight? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Until next time.